Sometimes in life, there are these stories that just resonate with you. They just, for whatever reason, they just stick with you. And one of those stories for me is Emmett Till. Throughout my entire life, that story always seemed to interest me. His life always seemed to interest me. And I realized the older that I got, the more my questions grew. I was always so eager to learn about his trial. But I know those men were found not guilty. Those men who took his life, who unjustly took his life, those slimy bastards who took his life. I know they were found not guilty. But how? What was the case? What was the details of the case? That's just a person of who I am. I want to know the details. What was presented? How did they actually get out of it, seeing that everybody knew that they did it? And another thing that I always wanted to know was, where was Emmett Till's father? I just saw this engineering over Emmett Till and his mother and the story, but his story was always incomplete. And then come to find out, the story about his father and his father's life coming to an end is eerily similar to Emmett Till. And they lived two completely different lifestyles. Now, understand, of course, Emmett Till was a boy. His father was a young man. His father didn't make it past 23. His father lived a very troubled life. His father seemed to have some things against him that he did wrong, including even Emmett Till's mother. And he met an untimely demise, just like his son. And his life was taken several years before Emmett Till. But then I look at Mrs. Mobley, Emmett Till's mom. So Emmett Till's father was put to death in a very same system and systematic setup as Emmett Till. Then Emmett Till loses his life. Mrs. Mobley, of course, she remarries. But as she lives her life, we see, because of her strength, because of her courage, and just because of the spirit that was present at that time, she becomes this figure, along with her son, to spearhead the civil rights movement. And we understand. But one of the things which bothers me, and it has absolutely nothing to do with just the fervor of which she had, it has absolutely nothing to do with her. It has to do with history. I'm bothered over the history, the story of Emmett Till and his mother. And what troubles me is that in 1955, while we don't agree, we understand why there may not have been justice for Emmett Till in 1955. We understand that. We understand what America was in 1955. And we've been told that America changed. But in 2004, what happened? Everybody knew. Everybody knew Carolyn Bryant lied. Everybody knew that the men, her husband, and the other white man that kidnapped and took the life of Emmett Till, everybody knew this. I mean, everybody knew this in 1955. So we could say, yes, the timing was not in Emmett Till's favor, unfortunately. But what happened in 2004? And then what happened in 2021? So we just see this symbolism. Emmett Till's mother becomes the symbol of civil rights and strength. But where was the justice? Justice is not served by a symbol. Carolyn Bryant was growing old with her son. Emmett Till's mom was not growing older with her son.